This is Already Trapped, Laura Frost Thriller Series Book 3, written by Blake Pierce, narrated by Katie Silverthorne. Chapter 1. Ruby Patrickson had been looking for love for a while, and it wasn't going so great. That last date had been awful, but there were plenty more fish in the sea. Besides, she had time. She was only 25. Prince Charming was out there somewhere, and in the meantime, she could kiss a lot of frogs to see what they might turn into. Ruby sighed to herself as she looked at the stack of dishes by the sink. It had been a long day at work, and she didn't even want to think about cleaning up. It was going to have to wait. She turned to her favourite dating app instead, where she saw she had a message from a new connection. Opening it, she saw a flirty conversation opener that made her bite her lip and smile. He wasn't shy, whoever he was. She giggled quietly to herself as she typed out a response, leaning over the kitchen counter on her elbows, adding in a couple of winking faces at the end of her message. He was cute, at least assuming his profile image was accurate. She was more than interested. A sound outside made her frown a little. The condo was normally quiet at this time of night. Half the residents in this sleepy little Wisconsin town were retired, and the other half, so it seemed to Ruby, were young families. Everywhere she looked, it was either proud parents with fat toddlers or old couples leaning on each other to walk. Maybe that was a little something to do with her current lack of romantic life. But Ruby wasn't going to analyse it too hard. Still, it was odd for someone to be out in the hall this late, after Ruby had finished her shift. She often felt like a criminal sneaking into her own home, trying not to wake anyone as she fumbled her keys in the lock. Now, someone was out there making enough noise that she could hear it through to the kitchen. She straightened up and wandered back out towards the front door, idly. She paused just beside it, glancing through the peephole. The lights were on, triggered by the motion sensors as she had walked in. Probably triggered again by whoever was out there a moment ago. There was no one there now. The lights went off while she looked through, leaving Ruby in darkness. She frowned. That was odd. If someone else had only just re-triggered the motion sensor, why would the lights turn off? It wasn't a power cut. Her own lights were still on. There was a soft sound somewhere behind her, making her freeze. If there was no one out in the hall, and the sound she'd heard was coming from inside her apartment, then... She looked around wildly, spinning so fast her auburn hair whipped around her shoulders. She half expected to see some serial killer from a movie standing behind her, wearing a hockey mask or a sack over his...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?